Week 6 of the NFL Undrafted Spotlight. Here we go. Starting with the Los Angeles Rams versus the Baltimore Ravens. We're going to focus on linebacker Nate Landman for the Los Angeles Rams as he led his team in career highs in tackles with 14, in pass defense, which was 3, and also a tackle for a loss last week against the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, that was a tough loss for the Rams. Nate still went out there and balled and put out a game or showcase his talent like he had never done before in his career. This is just a sign of many things to come. This week, go to the Big Crab Cake, I like to call, thanks for Chris Berman. Talked about M&T Bank Stadium as they take on the Baltimore Ravens. Definitely not the old Ravens of old due to a lot of injuries. However, this is football. Everyone is pretty much hurt at this time of the year, but this is not going to stop Nate for him to go out there and do what he got to do to make sure he get a win before those guys head over to London. Next, the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In this game, it's going to be really interesting to see how the 49ers are going to still continue to press and continue to win the way they are with their depleted roster on their offense side of the ball and defense side of the ball. Brock Purdy is considered not going to be able to play, and Mac Jones is going to be the one to continue to carry the torch for the 49ers, which means that Kendrick Bourne, wide receiver, is going to continue to have himself a big year. With Bourne teaming up with his old quarterback in Mac Jones, we saw the fruits of his capabilities for this season. Because in their last matchup, he led the Niners with 10 catches for a career high of 142 yards against the matchup against the Los Angeles Rams. The last time he had played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which was in 2001, he had 5 catches for 58 yards. Looking to see him having more of a primary role in this matchup. He's comfortable with the system, and he is definitely comfortable with his quarterback. And on the defense side of the ball, Bryce Huff, defensive end, he had his sack again last week, and this makes him to have at least 3 sacks in his past 4 games. Now he's aiming for his next game to get another sack and also to get another tackle for loss, which I'm sure that Huff is definitely going to get. In our last matchup for the week, the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Carolina Panthers. A few weeks ago, we highlighted linebacker Christian Razorbaum, who has been a stellar linebacker for the Panthers ever since he came over to them. Last week, he led the team in 9 tackles and a tackle for loss. So far this season, 4 out of the 5 games that the Panthers have played, Christian had 7+ tackles. I'm sure that he's going to be right back at that same number when he goes against these Dallas Cowboys in this matchup. But the person to watch out for in this matchup, a revenge game. Here we're going to focus on Rico Dowdle, who's been with the Cowboys since he got into the league, but just signed with the Carolina Panthers this season. Due to the injury to Hubbard, it really opened up the door for Rico to come out and showcase his talent. And last week, he went off. He's actually the first player this season to eclipse 200 rushing yards on the ground. Yes, the first one this season. He had a career high of 234 yards from scrimmage, where he rushed for 206 yards and had 28 receiving yards and 2 rushing touchdowns in his debut last week. This also marks the most scrimmage yards by any player in the NFL this season and the 3rd most ever by a Carolina player in one game. In the past 3 games he had played, he had at least 1 touchdown out of 2 of those games. He spent his first 5 years in the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys, which include career high in scrimmage yards of 1,328, on the ground 1,079 rushing yards and 249 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 3 in the air. Without a doubt, this will definitely be one of the best get-back games of the 2025 season. Tune in the next week when we jump in to Week 7.